I really thought our guys came to play, did a great job, a really 40-minute effort. Bensley Joseph had a sensational game. Wooga Poplar had 11 rebounds. Matt Cleveland was tremendous. So, overall, a great team effort. I told the guys Christian Watson's uh, minutes were very valuable to us. He really defended well, and that's the message we've been sending everybody, especially the guys off the bench.
All right, we'll take questions from the media now. As a reminder, please use the raise hand function. First question from Tim Reynolds. Go ahead, Tim.
You guys showed this against FIU as well. The 12-0 run late in the half today, the quick strike capability that your team has. I guess how much has I can't imagine it surprised you, but what sort of luxury is it to know that you guys can put together a bunch of stops and a bunch of baskets real quickly?
Well, the first thing is the coaches in the preseason, we found that we had spurt ability. You could see it in practice. You could see it in our inter-squad scrimmages that we could go on a 10-0, 12-0 run. That was definitely within our makeup. The whole key to that, though, is defense and rebounding, because the runs come off of our transition game. We're very good in the open court. You saw Wooga Poplar get 11 rebounds. Those led to fast break baskets. Bensley Joseph was on fire today. Really had a great all-around game. And, Georgia is one of those teams that we thought they'd play man-to-man for 40 minutes, and they hadn't played zone in the first 3 games, and now all of a sudden they're zoning us. So it took a little time to adjust to that. And I thought Matt Cleveland's performance in the middle against the zone was very good.
Next question from Chris Stock. Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, in particular with the second half offensively, your team more efficient shooting, also less three-point shooting. Was that more shots from less shots from the outside? Was that by design? And just overall, what do you think of the second half?
Yeah, well, that's based on the opponent. In the first half, they zoned. We were launching and missing. We still were able to get out in front and have a 10-point lead at halftime. But in the second half, we really needed to run man-to-man offense. And, they try to take away the three. And I think teams will do that to us because we're a prolific three-point shooting team. When we get it going, we can really shoot the three, as we've shown in the first 3 games. Now, today, we were able to go to the basket and get to the foul line some, and those were critical.
Next question from Azubi Charles. Go ahead, Azubi.
Hey, Coach. I know you mentioned the bench play a little bit. When Norchak got in foul trouble, AJ Casey came in and got 2 big buckets. You guys kind of, kept extending the lead. Just what are your thoughts on his play coming in the second half?
Yeah, I thought AJ did a great job because those minutes are quality minutes. With Norchak on the bench, we got to figure out, okay, what do we do without our best rebounder, post defender, and inside scorer? And AJ and Michael Nwako did a good job. Michael didn't play quite as much, but we were ready to utilize him if AJ had gotten into foul trouble.
Next question from Chris Stock. Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, you talked to us about Matthew Cleveland and wanting him to be an efficient scorer offensively. We are seeing that. We saw it again tonight. What you've gotten from him through 4 games, what's kind of led to his efficiency? And then what do you see tonight in particular?
It's really funny, my explanation. I don't mean funny, ha. I mean funny, peculiar. I sat down with Matthew back in, I think it was either late September or early October, and showed him some of the stats. And I showed him a text that I had gotten from his father during the summer. And his dad had actually sent me a text saying, see if you can help Matt become a little bit more efficient on offense. So Matt and I just had a discussion about it. And what I told him and what he has absolutely done, I said, just share the ball more. Find the open man more. And it will be reciprocated. You'll get easier shots. Your teammates will get easier shots. We'll get more assists. And you'll benefit from that. And sure enough, it didn't take him a day. The next day he was doing it. And the coaches said, wow, that was amazing. And so he's just kept that up. He's finding the open man, he's hitting the open shot, and he's just playing Miami basketball.
Couple more here. Next from Azubi. Go ahead, Azubi.
Hey, Coach, just kind of looking forward to that Sunday championships. Kind of a two-part question. Just how important are kind of mid-season tournaments like this for your team, and just what are your expectations and thoughts, headed into Sunday's championship game?
Well, we don't know who we're going to play yet, but we told the team, we have a game on Friday and a game on Sunday. So it's like the same format you play in the NCAA tournament. So tomorrow has to be our one and only preparation day. And the guys have to do a really good job of first getting some nourishment right now, getting hydrated, especially the guys that played a ton of minutes. And then second, get a good night's sleep so that tomorrow they can be physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to prepare for our opponent. Because they're only going to get a short period of time in the turnaround. And then on Sunday, we got to be sure everybody's ready.
Next question from Tim Reynolds. Go ahead, Tim.
Spo talks about this a lot, how the first road trip, maybe the first couple road trips, is a really good opportunity for a group to come together. Do you find that being in one place for 3 or 4 days away from home, I know these kids are around each other all the time, but is this an opportunity for you guys to really grow closer, do you think, off the court as well?
Yeah, I do, Tim. I think it's very important. They spend a lot of time together. The other thing that I like that I don't get to do as much at home is as a staff, we bring the team together and when we talk and quiz them about basketball related things. Like, we ask them about our last opponent, what that was like. So for example, when we were meeting on Wednesday night, we were talking about the FIU game. And I asked the players, how many times did we get trapped with ball screens and how many points did we score off the trap? And then it was a competition between the big guys and the guards. So the big guys came up with a number and the guards came up with a number, and both of them are way off. They thought we got trapped like 18 times, and it was only like 7, right? So what happens is you kind of try to build in reality. How many times did we get pressed and turn the ball over? Oh, we got pressed like 15 times and we had 1 turnover. So what does that say about our press attack? Well, that night it was very, very good. 1 turnover out of 15 possessions. So every time you send a message of this is what we want to do, and then we evaluate how we did it. All right. Assists. How many assists did we get? All right. And they know our goal is to get at least 16 assists every game. Because when we get 16 assists and we out-rebound our opponent, today we only had 11 assists. But we out-rebounded our opponent. So in one of the 2 categories, we really did a good job. But some of the credit has to go to Georgia's defense. And some of it was just we missed some shots we normally make.
Last question from Chris Stock. Go ahead, Chris.
Overall defensively, 67 points. They were 37% shooting. What would you like about your team's defensive effort?
Yeah, I mean, if we can hold an opponent to under 40% overall and under 30% from 3, it's a very good night. All right. At the other end, we only shot 45%, which is low, and we shot 29% from 3, but we've been shooting outstanding free throws at 94%. So again, you don't play the same way every night. You don't shoot the same way. You don't get the number of assists because the opponent is different. It might be somebody that's very big. Sometimes it's very fast. Sometimes it's a team that zones, and sometimes it's a team that presses. So you got to be able to adapt to what the circumstances are you're dealing with.